In the early 1800s, a Shawnee leader named Tecumseh spoke words that still send shivers down spines today. He prophesied a great serpent carving a path across the land and skies weeping fire. These pronouncements were dismissed as the whispers of a bygone era. But what if Tecumseh wasn't just a warrior, but a man who saw glimpses of our future? Could his prophecies hold the key to understanding some of the biggest challenges we face today? And we're going to answer that question right now. Welcome to the Lore Chronicles. In the early rumble of the 1800s, a storm brewed on the American frontier. Amidst the clash of cultures and the relentless westward expansion, a Shawnee leader named Tecumseh rose to prominence. He wasn't just a warrior. His name echoing with victories against colonial forces, Tecumseh was a visionary. A statesman who saw his fragmented tribes as scattered leaves, vulnerable to the winds of change. His dream was a defiant act against the tide of history, a united front. He envisioned a powerful confederation of Native American tribes, strong enough to resist the relentless encroachment of white settlers onto their ancestral lands. Tecumseh wasn't naive. He knew the power disparity, but he also knew the strength that comes from unity. His charisma and unwavering belief in his cause inspired tribes across the region. His influence wasn't limited to warriors either. He spoke of cultural revival, of holding on to the traditions and values that bound them together, a vital link to their ancestors and their identity. Tecumseh's actions weren't met with open arms by everyone. The colonial government saw him as a major threat, and some tribes were hesitant to relinquish their autonomy, fearing a loss of their unique cultures. But his vision resonated with many, and a powerful confederation began to take shape. Now, this period of unity wasn't just about military strength. It was a cultural renaissance. Tribes shared knowledge, songs, and stories, forging a deeper sense of shared identity. It was during this period of rising unity that whispers of Tecumseh's pronouncements began to circulate. These weren't battle plans or war cries. These were words that seemed to pierce the veil of time, glimpses of a future yet to unfold. And that's where our story takes a fascinating turn. Were these pronouncements mere ramblings, or could they hold the key to understanding some of the challenges we face today? Let's delve into the mystery surrounding Tecumseh's 200-year-old prophecies and see if they hold any weight in our modern world. This exploration will not only shed light on Tecumseh's foresight, but also prompt us to consider the interconnectedness of our world and the enduring legacy of his vision, a legacy that extends far beyond the battlefield and continues to inspire movements for unity and cultural preservation. Remember, Tecumseh's pronouncements weren't just battle cries or rallying speeches. They were cryptic messages, riddles wrapped in metaphors that sent shivers down spines and sparked endless debate. These weren't pronouncements delivered from a mountaintop, but whispers that spread through campfire stories and tribal gatherings. The exact wording may have been lost to time, but the core messages endured, passed down through generations. Let's delve into some of the most enduring prophecies attributed to Tecumseh and see how their cryptic nature continues to intrigue historians and ignite our imaginations today. So how do the stories go? Let me give it a shot. The year is 1810. A storm brews on the American frontier, a clash of cultures crackling in the humid air. In the heart of the Shawnee tribe, a warrior named Tecumseh stands tall, his gaze fixed on the horizon. Whispers of unrest ripple through the villages, tales of white settlers encroaching on the lands with relentless hunger. One starlit night, as the campfire crackles and casts dancing shadows, Tecumseh gathers his people. His voice, usually a steady drumbeat of leadership, takes on an almost mystical tone. He speaks not of battle plans, but of visions, glimpses into a future shrouded in mystery. A great serpent, he declares, his voice resonating across the hushed gathering. A creature of iron and rage will scar the land. It will slither across the plains, leaving a trail of black smoke and a deafening roar in its wake. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd. Elders exchange worried glances, their faces etched with concern. The younger warriors, their hands instinctively reaching for their weapons, sense a coming storm. What is this serpent Tecumseh speaks of? Is it a monstrous beast from their legends, or something more sinister? Tecumseh continues, his voice painting a vivid picture. The serpent will devour the earth, its steel belly swallowing whole the sacred hunting grounds of our ancestors. The air, once crisp and clean, will choke with its foul breath. The image hangs heavy in the air, a chilling prophecy of a future both fantastical and terrifying. Some believe it to be a literal creature, a harbinger of doom. Others see it as a metaphor, a warning of the destructive potential of the white man's expansion. Years later, the Iron Horse, a marvel of engineering, rumbles across the plains. Its black smoke billows into the sky, staining the once pristine air. The tracks, like a serpent's scar, carve a path through the land, severing the connection between man and nature. As the locomotive chugs forward, a chilling realization dawns. Tecumseh's prophecy, once shrouded in mystery, seems to have unfolded with terrifying accuracy. Was it a genuine glimpse into the future, or a chillingly accurate observation of the changes sweeping across the land? The answer, perhaps, lies not in the specifics, but in the message itself. Tecumseh's Great Serpent prophecy stands as a reminder of the consequences of unchecked progress, urging us to consider the cost of our actions on the world around us. I love technology, but sometimes it can be a heavy burden. When was the last time you called your parents? The year is 1809. A shiver runs down the spine of a young Shawnee warrior, Black Bear. He sits huddled around the crackling fire, listening intently as Tecumseh, the wise leader, speaks of a future shrouded in darkness. The air hangs heavy with the scent of wood smoke and of growing unease. Again, Tecumseh's voice, usually booming with the confidence of a seasoned leader, takes on a somber tone. He speaks not of battles won, but of a chilling prophecy, a white snake disease that would slither across the land, leaving a trail of sickness and despair in its wake. A collective gasp ripples again through the assembled warriors. The elders, again, exchange worried glances. The younger warriors, again, reaching for their weapons. What is this white snake that Tecumseh speaks of? Is it a literal creature of legend, or something, again, more sinister? Tecumseh continues, his voice a low rumble. The white snake, he warns, will be a silent killer, unseen by the eye, but felt by the touch. It will strike young and old, leaving bodies weak and spirits broken. Entire villages will fall silent, their laughter replaced by the moans of the afflicted. The image hangs heavy in the air, a terrifying vision of a plague unlike any they have ever known. Some believe it to be a literal serpent, a malevolent spirit come to punish their people. Others see it as a metaphor, a chilling prediction of the diseases that often accompany the white settlers, diseases against which their bodies had no defense. Years pass and whispers of sickness begin to float on the wind. A coughing fit here, a fever there. The white snake, it seems, has begun its silent slither. Villages that were once bustling with life become eerily quiet. The laughter and chatter replaced by the heartbreaking moans of the sick and the desperate pleas of the dying. The white settlers arrive, their faces masked with a strange cloth, a crude attempt to ward off the invisible enemy. They carry strange concoctions, but their efforts seem futile. The white snake, unseen but deadly, claims its victims with terrifying efficiency. As Black Bear, now a grizzled warrior, watches his people fall victim to the invisible menace, a chilling realization dawns. Tecumseh's prophecy, once a source of fear and speculation, has unfolded with horrifying accuracy. Was it a genuine glimpse into the future, or a chillingly astute observation of the dangers that lurk beyond the horizon? The campfire crackled one more time, casting dancing shadows on the weathered faces gathered round Tecumseh. The year was 1811, a time of simmering tension on the American frontier. Tecumseh, the Shawnee leader, his voice heavy with both concern and a strange, almost otherworldly knowledge, spoke of a future unlike anything they had ever known. The earth, he boomed, his voice echoing across the hushed gathering, will writhe in pain. a monstrous beast shaking its very foundations. The ground we walk on, once a source of strength and stability, will tremble with a fury that will send shivers down your spines. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Even the bravest warriors, their hands unconsciously tightening around their weapons, felt a tremor of fear course through them. What madness was Tecumseh spouting? Was the earth truly alive? A creature capable of such wrath? Tecumseh continued, his voice weaving a tapestry of terror. And the sky, he declared, his gaze fixed on the endless expanse above, will weep with a fiery wrath. Tears of molten rock will rain down upon the land, scorching the earth and leaving behind a desolate wasteland. The image hung heavy in the air, a vision of apocalyptic destruction that defied comprehension. Whispers of doubt and fear snaked through the gathering. Some dismissed it as the ramblings of a madman. Others saw it as a sign of the approaching end times. But a seed of unease had been planted, a chilling premonition that lingered long after the fire died down. Years bled into decades, and the prophecy remained a whispered legend, a cautionary tale around those crackling campfires. Then, in the distant rumbling of an approaching tremor, a chilling echo of Tecumseh's words seemed to resonate. The earth, once a place of unwavering stability, began to shudder and shake. Buildings crumbled and the ground split open, leaving gaping wounds in the once pristine landscape. Fear, long dormant, rose like a suffocating wave. Some saw it reflected in the devastating wildfires that ravaged the land. Vast swaths of forest reduced to smoldering ash under a sky choked with smoke. The line between metaphor and terrifying reality blurred, leaving a sense of disorientation and an unsettling fear of living in a world where Tecumseh's pronouncements were becoming horrifyingly true. Was Tecumseh a prophet, blessed with the ability to see through the veil of time? Or was he simply a keen observer of the world around him, a man who recognized the potential for natural disasters and ecological devastation? Perhaps the answer lies not in the specifics, but in the message it carries. Tecumseh's prophecies have captivated imaginations for centuries, sparking debate and inspiring diverse interpretations. Some dismiss them as mere whispers of a bygone era, the pronouncements of a desperate leader facing a changing world. Others see them as genuine prophecies, glimpses into an unseen future with an unsettling accuracy. Regardless of their origin, these pronouncements hold a powerful resonance, prompting us to reflect on their implications and how they have been perceived over the years. Over time, Tecumseh's prophecies have been interpreted through various lenses. For Native American communities, they served as a source of hope and inspiration during times of hardship. They offered a sense of validation for their struggles and a reminder of the interconnectedness of their fate with the natural world. Later, during periods of cultural revival, these pronouncements were seen as testaments to the foresight of their ancestors and a call for cultural preservation. For European settlers and the dominant culture, Tecumseh's prophecies often took on a more negative connotation. They were seen as warnings of resistance, pronouncements of a doomed leader clinging to a past way of life. The interpretation seemed to justify the expansionist policies of the time, painting Native Americans as obstacles to progress. However, in the modern era, a more nuanced understanding of Tecumseh's pronouncements is emerging. Historians now recognize them as a reflection of the complex social and environmental changes unfolding during his time. By exploring these messages, we gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by Native American communities and the potential consequences of unchecked progress. The enduring power of Tecumseh's prophecies lies not in their ability to predict the future with absolute certainty, but in their ability to spark conversation and inspire action. They challenge us to reevaluate our relationship with technology, economics, culture, and the natural world. Now, I'm no new-aged hippie, and if you are, thanks for watching. But that's not me. I love nature. I remember a time when we actually talked to each other and weren't just on our phones all the time when surrounded by great company. Now, I'm a fan of much progress. I love air conditioning. I love heating that doesn't require me to start a fire, although I do love me a good fire. But what I see in Tecumseh's stories, and maybe even in his prophecies, is someone that didn't like what was coming. He may have had some sort of inspiration that was given to him and he may have had some sort of second sight. I don't know if any of that is true or not. But I do understand looking at change and not liking it. Now, most people within the United States have a certain affinity and, I would say, respect for Native Americans. There's not a whole lot of the racial back and forth where everyone just doesn't like Native Americans. Maybe it's just the friends that I run around with, but I've never heard a whole lot of people say anything against Native Americans. And I think that that's a good and beautiful thing. And, you know, I have Native American blood, just like many that are watching this. If you're from the United States, you probably have Native American blood as well. Probably. Mine is Cherokee, by the way, and it's actually quite a bit on my grandfather's side. But either way, why can't we find a balance? Why can't we have the technology of today, but also balance it with getting back to nature? That's why I've been doing these videos outside lately, because I reminisce of a simpler time. And these stories of Tecumseh, they remind me of that. Tecumseh didn't want his life changed. He didn't want the life of his people changed for the worse. And I know that what Tecumseh faced was way worse than technology. What Tecumseh faced was obliteration of his culture and his tribes. So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others and their view, and demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long in its purpose in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the Great Divide. Always give a word or a sign of salute when meeting a passing friend, even a stranger when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to no one. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. Abuse no one and no thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so that when their time comes they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. Chief Tecumseh. So, have Tecumseh's prophecies resonated with you? Do you see parallels between his pronouncements and the challenges we face today? Share your thoughts and interpretations in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. History is full of fascinating mysteries and unsolved enigmas. If you enjoy exploring Tecumseh's prophecies, be sure to check out our other videos where we dive into more captivating historical puzzles, just like this. So don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing content and watch the next video. We'll see you next time.